Hi, Julie, upstate New York again. I love y'all. Here's the deal with an inventory of my personal nature. I have complex PTSD, so-called, been diagnosed, which repeated memories of specific incidents of they call trauma. I found for me just recently that the going back to those places, I thought it was about my mother or my father doing these terrible things to me, right? Or people. When I think the real reason I go back there is because, sort of spontaneously and incontinently, if you like, it's a form of mental illness, spiritual illness, is that I made decisions for hate and a rejection of other people and myself, and withholding of my gifts and kindness and generosity towards other people and myself, keeping myself in deprivation, because of that I chose to make these decisions. And you say, well, how can a little child be held responsible for these very dangerous and hateful decisions? And how I explain it, only for me, is that I came into the incarnation needing correction. And so I had to have these parents who would bring these hateful feelings to the surface for me, so that it would be in my face as to these decisions I made for hate. Let's put it that way. Instead of love. Practical, on the ground love that actually helps people, not just pretend I'll take care of you, when in fact you can take care of yourself, right? Known as codependency. So with that, I discovered very dark things about myself that I had, and maybe this applies to war too, that why it is we can't forgive and give up my identity. I've got to stay this angry little kid because that's all I choose to be. I don't know what I'm saying here, folks. All I know is that when the buildings came down, you know which ones, right, on 9/11, right? I went to various places of worship. I went to a synagogue. I went to a mosque. I went to various Christian churches. One impressed me terribly much, and the pastor preaching said, we must look at the violence within ourselves. And that brought me an answer that made me cry, and I said, yes, that means something to me. And that was long ago, back in, as you can understand, this is the year 2025 of the Common Era. Thank you so much for letting me share. I'm Julie from upstate New York. Love you.